Hey girlfriends, I don't know about you, but where I am, it's about 90 something degrees, but I'm still here in the kitchen. Gotta cook, you know what I mean? So today I'm going to be making, I think I'm going to be making like a blueberry type of custard dessert. I haven't given it a name yet. I have so many eggs that were left over and didn't realize that, when you go shopping and you order stuff and you don't really use it up. Well, that's what happened with me. Let me show you. Look at Look at all these eggs, okay? Look at all the eggs. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I didn't want to make quiche all over again. So I decided that I was going to try to do like a dessert or maybe like a brunch type of thing. So that's why I'm using the eggs and making like a custard with it. I got my blueberries in the sink. Let me go get them. And I got them right here. So I'm using like about half of them, but first I have to turn around and cut up my croissants because I'm going to be using some croissants. As a matter of fact, the recipe that I saw was one that Joanna Gaines did. I saw her show. I love her show. It's just, I just discovered it on Max. I didn't have a Max membership before, so when I found her, I was like, wow, I really love the way she cooks. I love her show. Anyway, I'm going to try and do something similar to what she did, except I'm cutting it down to servings of 6. Now, when it comes to measurements, I struggle with it. Like I said, I don't know in past episodes if you've seen, I'm more like a intuitive cook versus following the recipe, measurement by measurement. But what I did was I cut the full recipe in half. We'll see how it comes out. Crossing my fingers. Hopefully it will come out okay. But anyway, let's get started with the croissants. Okay, so the original recipe is calling for about 8 croissants. And so I'm going to be using about 4. Also, the size of the pan is much smaller because it's only, a couple of servings or so. So I'm using this size, if you can see it. So let me go ahead and start cutting these up. I mean, you don't have to like really make them exact. I never do, that's for sure. But I greased this is a ceramic container. And I'm just going to be putting them in like this. I buttered it up. I might not be able to use all 4 depending because I don't know whether I'm supposed to fill it to the top, fill it halfway, or what. But I'm just gonna try this out and see how it comes out. It looked delicious. It really does. And as I said, I didn't want to, go ahead and make another quiche. I'm about quiche out for now, but I gotta find something to do with the rest of those eggs because I have a few. I might just end up freezing them, and I'll do a little show on how I freeze my eggs because I don't like to waste anything. So I'm going ahead and I'm putting these, let me move this over so you can see it, inside of my little loaf pan baking dish. Now these I got from the market, and day old ones are much better than fresh, although they still smell really good. If I have any extra left over, I will definitely save them for sandwiches for lunch, you know what I mean? This might be a good addition for my picnic series as well. I'm talking about with the croissants. This particular dish here looks like it probably could be used for brunch, dessert, or even breakfast. So I think I can probably put maybe one more in there. Yeah, let's try it. See if we can do one more. Let me move this out the way. They smell delicious. I probably could just like tear them up as well. I didn't know if I should use like a bigger container because it would have been wasteful. And if it doesn't come out right, I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff left over, and I didn't want to do that, so I'm just taking my chances with this. So here we go with the rest of these blueberries. I'm going to put the blueberries in them. All right, I guess that's it. Should be deep enough. I'm hoping so anyway. I don't think I better put that last croissant in there. Anyway, let me get my blueberries, which I rinsed off. And this is like half of the pint, because I got like a pint. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in there. What I should have did was layered it as I put the croissants in. But I guess I could take some out. I want to make sure it's all the way through as well. As I said, this is my first time making this, so we're going to see how it comes out. But that's what I like about doing different recipes, because the more you make it, the more that you can, add or subtract stuff to it, or, you can make it your own. All right, so got the rest of these, a lot of blueberries, and that's only half of the pint, the container. I love blueberries too. Plus, blueberries are very healthy for you. You know that. So you can take the rest and use it in a smoothie. Or you know what I used my last blueberries for? I made some sea moss. And oh my goodness, I put some frozen blueberries in there, and oh my goodness, they made that sea moss taste so good. All right, so this is what this looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my mixing bowl. First, let me do my diligent cleaning here. I don't like to have a messy surface. I try to clean as I go. All right. So I have some butter here. Now, I think it was like, the original was like about a stick and a half of butter. But I'm not using all of that. So I am using 3/4 of a cup of butter. So these are 4 cups. Quarter of a cup. So I got 1, and this is my second one, and then I'll go ahead and get 1 more. You see, the butter's nice and soft, so that was a good thing, because it easily just goes right on into the measuring cup, which was nice. So I got this. It's the last one. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this in there. Butter is so much easier to work with when it's soft. I do that even when I'm making, my cinnamon rolls and different types of breads. Get this off because this is getting messy now. All right, so let me put that to the side. The next thing I'm going to put in there is some sugar. Now, the sugar that I'm going to be putting in there is like a half of a cup. So, got the half a cup of sugar. I need a knife so that I can turn it around and take this extra butter. Get this butter off of here. I don't like that. I don't like to waste a drop, especially the way everything is going up in price these days. You want to use every piece of whatever you buy. You know what I mean when it comes to cooking? So I got that. And I'm using a hand mixer. Oops, I gotta plug this in. That would help, huh? That would help. And I'm gonna cream the butter and the eggs. I'm sorry, the butter and the sugar. Oh my goodness. I'm creaming the butter and the sugar. Doesn't that look like frosting? Oh yeah. So let me take, got that. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start putting my eggs in one at a time. So let me take the first egg. You beat that. Go ahead and put the next egg in. Now, if I was using my regular mixer, I wouldn't have to turn it off. But since I'm using my hand mixer, I have to stop in between each egg. Okay, and now the last one, the last egg. Move this up, move out the way. And we'll beat this. So we've got that done. So now I'm going to go ahead and put in my cream. I got some cream and I have some buttermilk. So let me open up my cream first. It's this little tiny container. Again, it's only me, so I don't buy like my stuff in bulk like I used to when I had, the kids were home. Now that they've grown up and have their own kids, it's just myself. So, all right, so for my cream, I'm going to be using 1 cup. Put that in there. And my buttermilk, I'm going to be using 1/2 of a cup. This is my buttermilk. Look how thick that is. Alright, so I'm going to put that in there. Get that out the way. Let me go ahead and beat that. Oh, you know what else? I need to add a little bit of vanilla extract. It's a teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I'm only going to be using like a half a teaspoon. So I'm just going to put in there we go. So we got that. Is that it? I think that's all that I have to put in there. Now, I'm not adding any salt because of the fact that my butter is salted. So I'm not putting in salt, and I try to watch because of my diet. Scrape off all the edges and get it all in there. Put this over to the side. And I need to get my pan or my dish. Oh, here's my blueberries right here. Wow. Let me see which way. I can go ahead and pour this in. And you want to pour it slowly so it can seep down. But you want all of the croissants covered. So I'm just going to like pull the sides in a little bit so it can get all in between all that goodness. Oh yeah. This is supposed to make at least, I would say about 4 servings or so. No, about 6 servings. It depends on how much. And I know that I'm not going to be eating that much of this, but if I can get all of this in here, that will be good. So I put this in the oven at about 350 degrees for about between, I would say, 17 and 20 minutes or so. I kept checking it because I didn't want it to, spill over. As you can see here, I'm putting on some cinnamon, brown cinnamon and sugar on the top, even though the original recipe that I saw called for the heavy, sugar. But I didn't have any of that, so I do like I always do, use what I have. But isn't this just gorgeous? You can see the blueberries popping out of the top. The crust is so nice and brown. That's what I was worried about too, because I didn't know if I would leave it in there long enough whether it would burn. But this came out really good. It was something I had to keep watching because of the fact, like I said, the size. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same as far as like the serving size. So I had to change the timing of how long I left it in. I could have actually put it on 375, but then it probably would have cooked too quickly for me. So that's why I changed it and, turned it down to 300, put it in there for 350 degrees. But anyway, all in all, this came out beautiful. I am loving the way that this looks. Um, I'm really proud of myself. Great recipe, great recipe. All right, I'm about to try this. Ooh, it looks so good. Mmm, 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 mmm. Wow. Mmm, 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 mmm. I'm telling you, you have got to try this. So I want to personally thank Joanna Gaines of Magnolia Table for her delicious recipe, Buttermilk Blueberry Puff. This was delicious. I know I made my own changes on it, but you inspired me. And this recipe is, I'm telling you, something that I'll be making for friends really soon. And I hope maybe, those of you that are watching my channel will make it too. But anyway, like I said, a recipe is like a blueprint. You use it to guide you into making it your own. So until next time, oh, before I forget, if you like today's episode, please check that like button. And also, I would love to have you as a subscriber. In the meantime, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time. All right now. Bye.